I came back, I snuck in, I went into her bag, I opened her container, I took her food, I ate it quickly, just fast. Hello friends, welcome to another episode of my life experiences. My name is Wezi Nyanewa Sosola, your usual host. If you are new to this channel, this is a place where we share life experiences with the hope that someone may listen, be inspired, and learn from these experiences. And that's the exact reason why I'm here today. Because today is Life Review Day. Today is a day whereby I want to review myself. I would like to bare myself. In fact, I would like to lay myself bare in front of the entire congregation, an expose, if you may. Today is a day whereby I want to share some secret details of my life that I've never shared with most people before. What better day to do that than today? What better time to do that than now? But I'll also want to point out that I'm not proud of these details. I'm not proud at all, but neither am I ashamed of these details. When I was in grade 8, others call it standard 8, there came a new girl in class. So you know what students do when there is a new student. And compounded with her being new, she was also not fluent in the local recognized national language. In Malawi, we've got a locally recognized national language, it's called Chichewa, but she was coming from a very far away district. We've got so many ethnic groups, and from her ethnic groups, she was speaking a certain language, and she wasn't really accustomed with the locally recognized national language, and this is common. So she wasn't fluent at all. She couldn't properly understand. She had this accent. She couldn't communicate properly in this language. But when this new girl came, she used to bring to school very nice packed food in her container. Scrumptious meals, scrumptious food for snacks at school. I think that's one other thing I want to point out to parents, that make sure that at least your child carries something to school. At least try your best, whatever you can afford, so that they are not put in a position of temptation. They should take something to school. They should not just be looking at their friends and admiring their food. But for them to concentrate properly in class, you should also be able to give them the proper learning materials, give them even the proper food, packed food to take to school. So myself, I would rarely take food to school, but for her, she would bring very beautiful, scrumptious, mouth-watering meals to school in her container. So I would always look at her and I would admire her food. This other day, we all went out from classroom. I think we went for sports. Then I came back, I snuck in, I went into her bag, I opened her container, I took her food, I ate it quickly, just fast eating it. Then I went back. After sports time, the whole classroom came back. It was break time. People were rushing into their bags, taking their containers, wanting to get their food. But alas, the new girl, she went into her bag, checked her container, it was empty. There was nothing. There was nothing, guys, and I'm not proud of it. I had eaten the food. Nobody knew. Nobody knew. I still remember the name of this new girl, but I can't say it now. I wish I could meet her and I would apologize. But maybe she's even forgotten that this ever happened to her. But I did eat her food for the new girl in class, and she couldn't communicate so well. She said, "Andijera, Antwena Andijera Shakuja." Somebody has eaten my food, but in an accent. Wandijera Ndindani. Who has eaten my food, but in an accent, a Chichewa accent, that people were just laughing. But I had done it, and I feel bad about it. I really feel bad about it. I had eaten food for the new girl. Story number 2. There was a day my mom had gone out to the field for some days, and she left some money for buying maybe some food supplies for the home. Then I went to where the money was stored. I took some, and I went to school. The people at the house realized that money was missing. They made a plan. But I didn't know their plan. I went to school. At that time, I had stolen a 5 kwacha. People who are from Malawi would know a 5 kwacha. But at that time, 5 kwacha had a lot of strength. It was a very strong note at that time. Right now, it's the least note, it's the smallest note. You can barely buy anything with a 5 kwacha. But then, during the early 90s, it was a very strong note. I took it to school. I bought juices. I bought biscuits. I bought mbajiras. I bought zikonda moyos. I bought any snack that I could find at school. I was full. I bought freezers. It was juice from the packets. I bought the entire pack and I shared it with my friends, but I could not finish the money. It was so strong. I couldn't finish the money. I remained with some change. I kept it in my bag, saying, I'll eat it tomorrow. I'll use it tomorrow. I came back home. I found the maid. I found the tailors, all the workers, everybody at the counter, at the veranda, waiting. The plan that they had put in place was that every child, when they come back, they'll be searching for the bag, because they knew that whosoever had stolen this money will still have the change. They wouldn't be able to finish using it. When I came, they snatched my bag for me. Then I said, why are you taking my bag? Why are you taking my bag? They snatched it for me. They checked in the bag, spilled all the contents down. There went the coins, so many coins. The change from this stolen money was just laying down on the floor. That's how they caught me, a petty thief. That's how they caught me. And another day it happened also. My cousin's sister was sick. She was lying down on a couch at the living room, and I was craving some powdered milk. Okay? I crawled to the sitting room. I looked at her. She appeared to be sleeping because her eyes were closed. So I crawled secretly. I opened the drawer where they used to store this powdered milk. I took some, I ate it. I took some, I ate it. Then after doing that, my cousin opened her eyes. She looked at me. She had caught me red-handed, stealing powdered milk. Last but not least, when I was in school, I was one of the best performing students. However, at the school, especially in my class, there was a certain set of girls who would cheat a lot. There was this cheating culture. So they would write some notes on the hands, they would write some notes on the thigh, they would write, bring a paper in and peep and cheat. So for whatever reasons, I was enticed to do that particular exams. And I started writing. I would peep in my bag, check my notes, write, check my notes, write, and it was taking a lot of my time because I was cheating. I was looking, instead of just recording things from my brain, I was like doing these two things at once. So in that particular paper, that term, I ended up failing the examination. That's when I realized that cheating is not for me. Peeping is not for me, because it takes a lot of your time. You have to write, you have to check. So what is it that I want to say today? What is it that I want to point out? What is the purpose of my message? What I want to say is, growing up, I was growing up with the petty thievery spirit, petty stealing spirit, you know, lying here, lying there, cheating here, cheating there, stealing here, stealing there. You know, that kind of spirit as a child. I don't know where I got it, but I was growing up with that kind of spirit. Until a time when I reached a turning point. I don't know when, I don't know where. But all I know is that God had removed that spirit from me. He had transformed me. He had turned me around. He had made me a new creation. To the point that all that urge to cheat, all that urge to steal, all that urge to lie was taken away from my life. I was transformed. It was miraculous. I can't really point out to the time that this happened, But it happened miraculously. I failed to understand, I failed to recognize. You can put me in a room full of millions, full of billions, but I wouldn't take a penny, I wouldn't take a note, I wouldn't take a coin from there. That's what I am today. God had transformed me to be, He gave me discipline, He gave me integrity. He gave me honesty. How it happened, I don't know. I can't explain to anybody. That's why I'm saying that there are miracles, they still happen today. Miracles still happen. You may be struggling with some small sins. You may be considering small sins or big sins in your life. You may be wanting to read that of yourself. But I would like to say this to you. Try God. Try the Lord. Accept God. Confess and accept Him. And try His way. You'll find it at some point that God will remove all that age for sin. God will remove all that addiction. God will remove all that stealing. God will remove all that drunkenness. God will remove miraculously. It will happen. It happened for me, and it can also happen for you. That's why even God had placed me in a trajectory, career profession of being an accountant. Okay, I made this decision of being an accountant. Right now, I'm an accountant, and I trust myself. I trust my integrity. I trust my honesty, and I'm sure God opened this door for me because He knew that He had cleansed me. He had set me free from the spirit of stealing, from the spirit of when there was a time staying with my guardians. One of the workers at the house apparently had lost some money. Somebody had stolen money from her. And I didn't know who it was, but I was in my bedroom. I overheard my guardians. They were chatting, and there was a visitor had come to the house. And while they were chatting, one of the guardians said, "Oh, the maid has lost some money, and we are suspecting that it's Wezi who has stolen the money." That's what they said. And I was really hurt. I was saying, how could my guardian suspect that I'm the one who had stolen this money? Because I've never stolen before in this house. I've never stolen before in this home. And by that time, God had already rid me of this thievery, of this petty theft. He had rid me of that. But He's saying that we are suspecting that it's Wezi was that. Why are you having those suspicious thoughts? They were elderly people. I wouldn't confront them. But saying that in the presence of this visitor, I was hurt as a child. I just stayed in my room, listened to that, but I wasn't happy about it. But there's nothing that I could do. But at that point, God had already set me free from this spirit of theft, from this spirit of thievery. And to the point that when this visitor was leaving, I think he was also touched. He was touched because he gave me some money. Just gave me, this is your pocket money. I think he was really touched when they were implying that I had stolen the money from the maid. There was another worker. Why not the other worker? Why suspecting that it was I who had stolen? So God has got that ability to erase your past. He has got that ability to rub off all those mistakes, all those sins. God has got that ability. Don't doubt that. What can God do? He doesn't answer. The Christian God is a personal God. He's a God you can confess with. God you can talk to. He's a God you can read His word from the Bible. And the Bible is such a personal book. When you are reading, you could actually feel it talking to you. So He's a personal God. He would cleanse your life, and you'll be amazed that what has happened to me, where has that transformation come from? Just try this God out. Try this God out. Sometimes it may not be immediate for you. You may accept Him in your life. You may repent. You may confess. It may not happen immediately. You start walking the walk, and you see a miracle happen in your life. You see a miracle happen in your life. I just want to close by sharing the word of God from the book of John 8, verse 36. John 8, verse 36. I'll read. Therefore, If the Son makes you free, you shall be free indeed. If the Son makes you free, you shall be free indeed. And I am a witness. I am free, and I am free indeed. Thank you so much, friends. Stay blessed.